Hi Stampers, I'm Tara. Today we'll be working on improving our stamping skills. I have tips on centering, grounding, letter spacing, and stamping multiple words on one token. From our maker's kit, I went ahead and set up our lamp, our hammer, letter stamps, stamping plate, and the token and bracelet that I will be stamping. Notice that each letter stamp is engraved with the actual letter on the front of the stamp. Make sure that this letter is facing you when you stamp. This way you can avoid the common mistake of stamping your letter upside down. To find the center point on the token, look between the inner edge and outer edge of the token. Make sure that your letter isn't hanging too far off the edge, but also make sure that your letter isn't leaning against the center part of the plate. Now that your letter is centered, go ahead and slide your fingers down the stamp until they meet the plate. This is to firmly ground your stamp. We want to firmly ground our stamp so that when we take our hammer and we hit the letter, it won't jiggle or move or bounce. If it has any room to bounce, you could potentially end up with a double stamped letter. Next, take a look at your stamp from above and make sure that it looks straight. Take your hammer, point your elbow out, take a deep breath, stay focused, and stamp. You want to keep your hammer as flat as possible so that when you stamp the letter will be engraved evenly on the token. Rotating a token the same amount between each letter creates equal spacing across the word. When you have a shorter word, you can space it a little wider. If you have a longer word, you can tighten it up. Everyone has a unique style, so practice and find what works for you. For necklaces, the token is hanging from one fixed point, so if you're stamping multiple words, you can actually stamp the letters continually all the way around the token. If you're stamping multiple words on a bracelet, the first word will go on top, and the second word will go on the bottom. This way, the sides of your bracelet won't get in the way of your intention. Start with the longest word first. So for example, if my intention is to stay focused, I'll start stamping the word focused first. Now that I stamped focused, I'm gonna go ahead and flip my stamping plate 180 degrees and then spin my token so I can create space to stamp the word stay. If that word had an odd number of letters, I would take the center letter and align that with the center letter in focused, which is the U. Stay has an even number of letters, so I want the space between the T and the A to align with the letter U. It's all about getting comfortable and gaining confidence. When you practice mindfulness in stamping, the centering, alignment, and spacing is gonna get easier and even become automatic. And maybe you'll increase those virtues in your life as well. We thank you so much for tuning in today. We know that you're gonna rock out on stamping, and we hope you have a wonderful day.